Welcome to this meeting. My name is Dave Anderson. I am the Member of Parliament for Blaydon, which is in the north east of England, but very, very proud to be the chair of this group. The theme of this group in everything we do is to promote and support human rights, peace and justice through dialogue and debate. And in doing that, we never ever take sides. What we do expect from people who attend these meetings is to listen to people with different views and genuinely engage with each other so we can see if we can find a way to help to make things better in the various places and the various people that we deal with. We've got a very, very packed meeting tonight and a real star headlining group with us tonight. We've got the High Commissioner from the Maldives, Dr. Farah Faisal, who's going to speak first. David Amos, who is the chair of the all-party group on the Maldives. Rita Payne, who is the chair of the Commonwealth Journalists Association in the UK. Mark Seddon, who is going to report back on a recent visit to the Maldives and perhaps other things that he's been involved in since last we met. Mushtaq Shah, who is the chair of Third World Solidarity outside of this place. And Yamin Shahid, who is a student from the Maldives, who is based in London, I understand. Welcome to my colleagues from across the House, and to yourselves, and as I always make clear in these meetings, this is your house. We're just here as part-time tenants of this house. Some of us want to be here more than part-time, but the truth is, this place belongs to you, and our job is to make you feel welcome here and help you express the views that you want to express in a way that enhances the meeting. So without any further ado, I'll ask Her Excellency Dr. Farah Faisal to address the meeting.
Thank you. Well, first of all, I would like to express my gratitude to the All-Party Parliamentary Group on Third World Solidarity and the All-Party Parliamentary Group on Maldives for organising this meeting. And also say thank you on behalf of Maldives to the Chair and all the panellists here and to all of you for being here. In 2 weeks' time, it will be 2 years since we had our first multi-party elections. And during those 2 years, we have faced lots of ups and downs in our struggle to institutionalize democracy in the Maldives. I'm not going to go through the whole list, but let me highlight some of them. Even this summer, we have had the whole cabinet resigning en masse because they claimed that the parliament encroached on their executive function. We've had opposition members of parliament demonstrating on the streets on Mali, claiming that the government is being undemocratic. We have had bribery scandals. We have had issues with the judiciary, where at one point in time we did not have a Supreme Court or a Chief Justice. And even now the Parliament is in gridlock over the issue of giving consent to the ministers, the cabinet. For those of you not familiar with our system, the Maldives is a presidential system. The ministers don't sit in Parliament, and the Constitution says that the President will appoint the cabinet ministers, but the Parliament will have to give consent, although the Constitution does not outline in what manner or form the consent is to be given. It is therefore not surprising that some people in the Maldives has begin to wonder, what's this democracy all about? And of course, for 30 years, we have been used to one system. And as we all know, the most difficult thing in the world to change is people's mindset. And that goes for the people from both sides of the political divide, really. However, I would say that all is not doom and gloom in the Maldives. We have come a long way from that groundbreaking Adam Minot's report, BBC report on 17th October 2003, when he interviewed Ahmed Shafiq Musa, who then had to flee the country, fearing for his life. The biggest achievement in our attempt to institutionalize democracy in the Maldives is that I would say the most people have now come to accept that every 5 years there's going to be an election, and that they, the people, can vote freely and fairly, and that they themselves can choose their next leader. And they believe that nobody else can influence that. It is up to the people to decide who's going to be their next leader. And I think from this acceptance stems the hope that democracy is beginning to take root in the Maldives. Other indicators, I would say, include the establishment of independent institutions, such as the Police Integrity Commission, and the strengthening of the Human Rights Commission, the Civil Service Commission, and of other independent watchdogs. Numerous laws have been passed, strengthening various rights and freedoms of the people. We do not have any political prisoners anymore. President Nasheed, a former activist, was jailed 13 times and tortured badly during those 13 times he was in jail. Our media is fair and is freer than they have been before. And from the position of having no opposition media operating in the Maldives, I think I can very easily say that we are in a position where we have all opposition media operating in the Maldives right now. However, one of the biggest challenges that we face today in our infant democracy is a small but growing movement of religious extremism. This is far greater threat to us than the gridlock in the parliament or the problems we may have with disagreement with the opposition and the government. Because I believe that current leadership of the opposition, and the current government, both are British educated and both are very committed to democracy. But this growing challenge of extremists, albeit a small minority, is very worrying for us. And I will just give you a few examples of these. For example, the president nominated to be the president and the vice president of the Human Rights Commission 2 women. And there are members in the parliament who objected to the fact that they were women. Just that. And then quoting religious texts say that, can't be said. And that is indeed very worrying. They also preach against things like vaccinating children because vaccine contains apparently alcohol. And then women should not go out to work and they should only stay at home. And I feel that this is a bigger challenge to our democracy right now than any other problems, the infighting we may have in the parliament or between, various factions of the political parties. However, I feel that if, this is still a small minority and we can keep this a small minority if we are all proactive and vigilante about this. And that we can become, and we are on route to become, a liberal, modern Islamic democracy. Just one more thing I want to say, just in case anybody is wondering whether any of this is related to the awful and despicable wedding video that was leaked last week. And I would say no. I would say that is more likely a case of unfunny people trying to be funny and in the process insulting the couple as well as us Maldivians. We Maldivians are very tolerant people and we are very welcoming. And not only that, we realize that it's tourism that actually put food on our table. And that we clothe ourselves, and that enables us to be a developing country. And this is an incident that has shocked the whole country, and we hope that will never be repeated in the Maldives. And from the government side, we have already taken measures to ensure that something like this is never repeated. I don't know how I'm doing for time, but
You're all right, keep on.
I would say all in all, there is hope for the Maldives that we can institutionalize democracy. But rather than being a revolutionary democracy, I think it is more of an evolutionary process. It is slowly gaining strength. But we are moving forward, but we need help. We need help, all the help we can get. When we were struggling against the former regime, when we were a democracy movement, we had a lot of attention from the international community. We had a lot of support from the various factions, both here in Britain and in other countries. And the moment in 2008, we had our first multi-party elections. People seem to have thought, oh great, there's a democracy established by the people, all well and good. But it's not like that. It is a tough road. And we are facing a lot of difficulties. But I think I am confident that with your support, we will achieve that. Thank you.